You're listening to a main feed episode. Go to patreon.com/Celtic Ligers where €5 a month gets you weekly full-length episodes, stray bonus content and access to the back catalogue. Also helps cover hosting and gives us money for sweeties. Thank you. Celtic Ligers.
Recorded 24th of April 2024. Slightly poor audio as James kept holding mic away from his face. Don't yell at me.
Had you ever heard this story about... You heard the famous story about Marilyn Manson?
Where he takes out a rib and he sucks his own dick.
Yeah.
I remember when he fucking threw a cat into the mosh pit and he's like, I'm not starting until you fucking kick this cat to death.
Kick it to death?
Yeah.
I heard that about Ozzy Osbourne, that he threw a dog into the concert and said, until you pull it apart.
Yes.
But Rod Stewart went to the hospital.
Yeah.
Because he was sick. And they had to pump his stomach.
Yeah.
And then what do they find?
Guess what the fuck was in it?
Yeah.
Yeah. A dog.
A dog with no legs.
Yeah.
No, semen.
What?
Semen.
Semen, yeah. No, I heard
2
that
litres of semen.
Yeah.
I was talking to Mark yesterday.
Yeah.
He'd never heard of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was a big one. Rod Stewart.
That was a big one.
For some reason. Yeah.
You heard
it
it
a big
about...
one, as in a big Saturday night for Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
Drinking all that freaking semen.
Yeah,
Hey, I see men and I eat it, you know?
I'm on a seaman diet.
Yeah.
I see men and I eat them.
And I eat their produce. Yeah.
Did you like... I know I keep talking about my set last night.
Yeah. So we went to see Test Tube Babies, which is Mark's alternative comedy night in Collins.
Yeah, the alternative to comedy
Yeah.
night.
And yeah, so what about your set?
So I was doing a hilarious skewering of the classic aristocrats joke.
Yeah.
And when I read through a list of all their taboos,
Yeah.
when I got to murder, when I got to cannibalism, I said Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
I was proud of that one.
I was laughing. So.
Because she had that thing, Kuru, which is a
Uh-huh.
prion disease from
Yeah.
eating human flesh. You ever heard that?
No.
It's true. Do you know how adrenochrome is made?
I don't even, I just know it is something that people say. I don't even know what the hell it's meant to be.
It's like a drug
All right.
that elites take. It's from the pineal gland.
Oh, yeah. I know that then. That's kind of a Lovecraftian type thing.
No.
Okay.
It's a political tool.
A Lovecraftian flourish.
Of scared children.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know how they get it though. Lovecraft never wrote about kids.
No, he wrote about a
Scary
pineal
octopus.
gland or something like that.
Wrote about a scary octopus that lived in a well.
Yeah. Have you ever watched From Beyond though? The movie?
No, I read the books.
Yeah. I like the original, you know?
Call of...
James is a big fan of H.P. Lovecraft's cat's name.
what's that?
Yeah, just look it up.
Yeah, he was an equal opportunities racist. He was incredibly broke and he was living in an Irish part of town.
Yeah.
Did not like the Irish.
Who would?
Didn't like the blacks either.
Yeah. I don't like when people say blacks, I gotta be honest. I ever hear the blacks. I was like, I don't like that.
The biggity blacks. No. What would you call them?
What would you fucking call them then, yeah?
What would you call them?
Just black people.
No.
POC.
They hate that.
Yeah, I don't fucking care
So
what
do
they
you
hate.
call Asians? What
You
colour
don't,
would you call
you don't want to fucking know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Asian people.
The yours is inconsistent.
Yeah.
I go white people.
Yeah.
Blacks. Or black people.
He's already checking it out. Yeah.
Probably black people.
Yeah.
And then I call Asians by whatever country they're from.
Yeah. Whatever region they're from.
Cambodian, Laotian,
Yeah.
Chinese, the famous one. Indian.
Yeah.
Didn't think I was going to go there.
Southeast Asian.
Bangladesh.
And so on and so forth. We could sit here all day listing off countries and what we would call them.
What do you call native Australians?
It's a tough one, isn't it?
What?
Well, indigenous people.
No.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know what the sensitive thing to call people
Indigenous
is.
people are Native Americans. Or travelers.
Or any group of indigenous people.
So you call like the English indigenous people. You call is there like an English person?
It's tough, isn't it? It's tough.
I'm trying to think. Well, I was going to say Boris Johnson, but he's from Turkey. I was going to say Queen Elizabeth, but she's German.
Yeah.
Prince Philip was Greek.
Yeah.
Prince Andrew's from Wales.
Yeah.
Jeremy Corbyn.
Yeah, he's actually the only English guy there is. And they hate him for it.
And they bloody... These days, to be English, they call you anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
But you think he's indigenous?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I have to, just to be
You
consistent.
Think he's black?
No, but I think you were like, that kind of term that was in vogue for a bit, where they go Latin X, and then
It's not real.
but then like it turned out like a bunch of people, was it Latino community, were just like, no, I fucking hate that actually, and then now people have kind of retired it. Like you don't see that anymore, do you? Latin X.
No. But I don't go on Twitter anymore.
But it does feel like sometimes it's like, no, we have to be respectful. So me as a white person, I'll create the specific thing that I call you. Do you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Irish is the only language that doesn't call England.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right.
It is.
Well, you mean like, so we say Sassenach, isn't that it?
Yeah.
And then
I think
England
it means foreigner.
And then Inglaterra would be in Spanish.
That's like Tierra's land.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. What do they call it in French?
Anglaise.
Okay.
It is mad because they call custard creme anglaise.
And it's crazy because they call...
And we call it French custard.
Potatoes, apples of the earth.
Yeah.
Fucking freaks. You ever eaten a fucking apple, France?
Yeah. I'll just have a plate of chips. And they bring out a fucking apple.
Big apple fritters. And they're just like, what? What is this?
Yeah.
No, you wanted apple frites, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. But what were we watching? Oh yeah, we were watching
a racist,
an ordinary Irishman.
Yeah.
Self-described. From where is he from again? Wexford.
Yeah, Wexford. And it's quite embarrassing because we put on YouTube on the TV, and then Zainab just went to like, well, what's on Garrett's algorithm? It's like, oh, of course, a fucking Irish racist.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was interesting.
So he would go around. So where is it? Wexford.
He's in Wexford, and so sometimes he'll interview people in Wexford, and then one time he interviewed people in Fermoy in Cork.
Yeah, and there's somewhere else.
And then Dublin.
Yeah, but there's somewhere else.
Oh.
Somewhere in Tipperary.
Yeah.
What's the capital town of Tipperary?
Nina? Nina? Where's Nina?
There's two capital towns.
Oh wait, Carrick and Shannon.
No, that's Leitrim.
Oh, Carrick?
No.
Carrick is...
It is 2. Clonmel and Nina.
Okay. Nina.
Yeah, she Nina on my Clonmel.
Clonmel. Fucking Clonmel, yeah. That's what it took to remember Clonmel. She Nina on my Clonmel until I...
Till I dip around. Yeah, that guy... like... It was sort of amazing to watch because he did like, you know, what you call them, face to the mouth to the camera.
Yeah.
Vlogs. But then the more interesting ones were like, I went to Fermoy and I talked to people about like, it would be like about immigration.
Yeah.
Or about safety. And then it would always follow the same format of him asking a question and then the person responding. And then over the next 3 or 4 minutes, the person would slowly realise they're talking to a lunatic.
Well, it depends where they were. Because if they're in Wexford, then they realise they're talking to a lunatic and they're like, great. And then when they're in Dublin, they realise they're talking to a racist and they're like, oh, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah. So the Wexford ones were like, would you get the booster? And like, no one in Wexford seemed to know what a booster was.
Gosh, I didn't get the first one. I didn't fucking...
Or someone was like, I got the first one, but I won't get the second one.
Do you remember the guy...
The vaccine was 2 parts.
Yeah.
You had to get both parts. So they mean they just got the first half of the vaccine.
Yeah.
And then...
The one that I remembered was the guy going like, well, here's what... I used to get the flu jab and then I always got the fucking flu.
Oh, yeah.
And then I asked the doctor and then he's, I don't know what it, anyway, so he's like, so I decided to stop getting the flu jab and then I didn't get the flu. So that's the reason I'm not getting the COVID vaccine. And then he said, but I did get COVID like once or twice.
Yeah.
So it was like, the logic was very chaotic.
Like
and,
he agreed, but he didn't make any point.
Yeah.
Like his reasoning for not getting the vaccine was so idiosyncratic.
Yeah.
It didn't help or hinder.
Yeah.
And
then there was obviously the immigration ones. And
the immigration one was great because, first of all, there was like an Indian guy who was like, get them out of here. Like, they are messing the place up.
Yeah.
I can't get a house.
Yeah.
You know, in this city.
But he's going like, sure, we can't get a house. He's basically like, you know, and like,
Say it.
is it worth saying that he's got like a full-on accent as well? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's terrible, like talking like a racist Irishman, but then doing it with like a full-on Indian accent.
How do you see the future of Ireland in 10 years or 20 years if it continues, immigration continues as it is?
Well, we all see what's happening in France, Sweden, Germany. We are very much aware what's happening over there. I just want, I'm living over here. If the conditions are not good, I have to find some better place to live. I just want safety, security, and good living conditions. So if the path at which the immigrants are coming into Ireland, if it's not controlled, if the people are not being vetted, and if, along with that, simultaneously, if the infrastructure doesn't increase, then probably I will have to leave Ireland as well.
Yeah, it was so weird. And then I also liked, there was one guy who it must have been an early interview because he wasn't very good. And he's like, he goes up to someone and he's like, what do you think about the fact that we accept 3% of the population every year? And the government's plan is to do this. And if you read these documents by this guy...
Yeah. The question is about 2 minutes long.
Yeah, it's like 2 minutes long. He's talking like Stephen Molyneux and he's talking about like EU policy. Like he's just lecturing the guy and the guy is clearly checked out.
Yeah.
And then he's like, what do you think of that?
Yeah.
What do you think of that is the question. It's like a TED talk followed by thoughts.
Yeah.
And the guy's just like, that's mad.
Yeah.
You know, jeez, I didn't know that.
But also like, the funny thing that would happen is when the premise of the question is basically like, what if we saw a bunch more black people around here? Wouldn't that be terrifying?
Yeah.
And then if you go, like, well, no. It's not like he just leaves it. He's like, but we've been a minority in our own country. And it's like, well, I don't think that's a bad thing. You don't think it's a bad thing that we're in the minority in our own country? No. It was just weird. Like this being like, it just stops.
Yeah, he never just went, thanks for your time. He'd just be like, do you really think that?
Yeah.
Really? But what about, and then like, I don't think you like the Indian guy either.
No, but they're like most of the far right, they're like, I do need you to sell my points to these squishy liberals who don't understand. Look, I got one of your lot saying that they need to fucking send them home. So, you know.
And then I like the one where he's like, do you believe in man-made global warming?
Yeah.
And we watch it, and then he keeps going, they're like, yeah. And he goes, well, I read a thing that said it was solar activity.
Not a read. He would go like, well, actually, like a scientist, Patrick Moore, who like, I know Patrick Moore as being like one of the most like British looking guys ever. Have you seen him? Where he's like this round, bald, and like incredibly old, and he has wears a monocle from time to time.
It turns out it's a different Patrick Moore.
But he's like, he keeps going like, solar activity. And then eventually one guy's like, what do you mean by solar activity? And he goes, solar flares, sunspots, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, he literally just meant the sun is getting hot.
But like the type of site, like you could totally imagine like turn of the century type stuff where it's like, you know, a woman isn't capable of voting because their brain is just not fully formed or something like this type of weird pseudoscience. And then Patrick Moore is just doing that, but about climate change.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, see, he said it. And then, but he keeps just citing this one guy. He doesn't have another guy.
Yeah.
And then his kind of gotcha question, which is very funny, is like, so why do you believe in this? And then they go, science, everybody's saying it in the media. And he goes, oh yeah, can you name me one of your favorite climate scientists?
Yeah.
And then be like, no. Interesting.
Curious.
Yeah. But he's like, I can. Patrick Moore.
Yeah.
This guy who says the thing that I agree with, you know?
Who would your famous climate change scientist be? Curious.
Well, I have a bunch of names, but I don't like have much time for them. Like I know that George Monbiot, I don't know if he's like a scientist, but he's somebody who writes on it.
He's a Guardian article.
Yeah, and also he's a bellend.
Prostate cancer.
Who else? Oh, Greta Thunberg, obviously.
So the scientist was a child.
Also, who else? Who the fuck else? I'm trying to think of somebody. I don't really follow it. Climate's not my thing. I just kind of gave up on it, to be honest. I just feel scared and bad about it, but I don't really have any interest in research. Do you know? So what about you? Who's your favorite?
I don't have one.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I was convinced.
Yeah.
Sure, one day it's hot, the next day it's cold. Do you know what I mean?
There's actually a story I wanted to tell you. I don't know if you don't read any of the stuff I put in the chat, so this will be...
I do.
But have you seen the thing where, you know that those, it's called like the Swiss grannies?
Okay, I didn't read that one.
Okay. Well, like, no, it's a thing that's been ongoing for a while, which is these Swiss grannies have taken their...
holes.
Huh? Maybe I have it wrong. Is it Swiss grannies or Dutch grannies?
Holes.
Huh?
Full of holes.
Yes. Okay. All right. I thought you were doing something filthy.
It's called a double entendre. Double innuendo.
Swiss grannies win climate case. So basically they're saying as elderly people, we are being affected by climate change and our government's inaction. So we're taking them to the European Court of Human Rights to say that they need to be doing more to protect us. Okay. So anyway, they won their case.
How? How? Surely old people are affected the least. They just stay inside anyway.
I don't know, respiratory things, skin cancers. I don't know. Don't ask me. Look up the case. That's not the thing I even really wanted to talk about.
Sun hat. Look it up.
I'm trying to find the details of the case just to have the broad strokes outlined. But
Let me
essentially,
guess. Oh, I'm an old person.
okay.
You have to look after me.
Yes. All right. So that's the case, is it?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
It's called a silver dollar.
a silver dollar.
Yeah.
Okay. What about silver dollard? And it's about Mary Lou Dollard.
Yeah. Who said that again? Oh, yeah.
Well, my friend Emma really checked out of the news, and he was just talking about, your one Emma Lou Dollard. Didn't know who Mary Lou was, which, whatever. But also he didn't remember Leo Varadkar's name either, which is unforgivable because Varadkar, he's on my mind 24/7.
What do you call him again?
I don't know. I think he got Varadkar very wrong, but he might have gotten Leo sort of right. So I think it was like what's his name? Leo Veronica,
Okay.
I'm trying to find the article, which I thought I had in the thing, but I fucking didn't. Here we go. So I just thought you might like this. So there was an intervention made by the Irish government into the Swiss climate case against the group of senior citizens, where basically they were like, they really didn't want anybody to be able to hold their government to account by going to the courts. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the Irish intervened to be like basically against the Swiss grannies. Okay.
Yeah.
But it was
the Irish government did.
Yeah. Ireland argues that the European Convention on Human Rights, which the court is set to uphold, does not guarantee the right to a clean, healthy and sustainable
Why did
environment.
they always do this? Like they did it with Apple tax.
Yeah.
And they did it. I don't know if they ever did it apart from that, but
Well, I was thinking like CETA. I mean, that was another one.
CETA.
CETA is like the perfect example where it was basically like, if corporations' profits are affected, then they can sue governments, and they're like, we want to introduce this, and people are like, what about the environmental effects it'll have? Not only that, but what about the effect it'll have on housing?
Yeah. Why don't you take a seat on my lap?
Yeah. Until I Nina.
Why
In the Tipperary or something. But yeah, so after the Swiss grannies won their case, Eamon Ryan tweets out, this landmark at ECHR, so that's the European Court of Human Rights, is another stark warning that we must move at scale and speed to meet our climate obligations, and it underpins the role of NGOs, #climate crisis. While landmark climate case verdict from ECHR has big implications for Ireland. So he's like, fair play.
How does that underline that thing of NGOs? Because there was like a group of grannies
Yeah.
who did it through the courts.
Yes.
So it's like,
I guess, yeah, he's obfuscating what actually happened here.
like NGOs, they weren't involved at all.
This was some charity behind them, but even then, I would kind of be like,
Yeah, what
Like-
charity? Blue Rinse for the elderly.
what's blue rinse? Is that like dye or something? Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's to make your hair look white.
Hey, don't say that around old people, huh?
They will lift you out of it.
Yeah. But anyway, here
They
is
take it out the wooden spoon
yeah.
or the plastic spoon.
The plastic spoon these days. Fucking these ladies. No, wait, no, these ladies wouldn't use. They'd use a wooden spoon.
They use a turf.
Yeah. So Jennifer Whitmore from the Soc Dems then asked on Monday, or maybe I don't know when, going like,
Why do you Nina Whitmore passion?
What?
Why do you Nina Whitmore passion?
I'm just trying to figure out what that sentence could possibly.
What it implies. Mate, if you don't know, then you're too young.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, I got it now. I don't know why I was blanking with Whitmore. like with more. Anyway, she was like, well, who said to make the intervention?
Exactly.
So anyway.
That's the question we're all asking.
Yeah. Environment Minister Eamon Ryan has revealed it was he who asked to intervene in the Swiss climate case against a group of senior citizens. The Green Party leader said it was because court cases were not the best way to address the climate crisis.
So what the fuck is he talking about? So he knows there was a court case.
Yeah.
He's like, fair play to the NGOs.
Yeah.
But also...
actually, no, that was me. I did that. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Did I do that?
And it was just like, you know, the way people are like, oh, Eamon Ryan is such an oaf. And I was like, this is like exhibit fucking ZA that he's just an evil asshole. Like he is in on the fucking racket as well.
Exhibit Zaza. Yeah, he really is a climate terrorist.
Yeah. And he needs to be treated like such. To a permanent end.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
He needs to be Abu Ghraibed.
Yeah. And she Abu Ghraib.
She Abu'd on my grave.
Well, stop that. Shut that down. Shut that down. So that was it. I just thought that was a funny one for the environment. Like, and all of these far right guys, they just hate Eamon Ryan with the passion because they're like, he's doing all this shit to farmers. He's because of his fucking green lefty ways. And it's like, he is your greatest ally, man. He is the most useful block to any meaningful climate change. And you hate him.
I know. Farmers hate him though because he's like, you can't drive your tractor for more than 20 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Like something that's completely mystifying.
Yeah.
You know?
Or that thing when he said like, oh, they should stop driving cars and they should get buses. And he's like, you're Minister for Transport. You fucking idiot. You know? Like,
he'd be like
try to get one, like there's one bus that like serviced, and I'm not talking about, but it serviced the area that I lived in rural Ireland. Like one fucking bus that could take me to the head of the road. And other than that, you have bus. Like
pick them up every day.
Yeah. The irony is we did have a very short bus, but I mean that was only because there wasn't that many people out there and it was a private coach. But
what was the company?
Well, the other thing about it is like, I think it's CityLink, okay? And I think that they go to Doolin, but it's an unofficial stop, so you have to ask the driver to drop you off at the top of the road.
Really?
Yeah. So there's a few times then where I've been trying to get to Kilcolgan, which is still would be about...
That's where Puck Fair is, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, what's Puck Fair? Is that the statue?
No, it's where they elected Goat to be king.
You'd have to ask them. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, it's called the Doll.
Yeah.
It's called Arsenic Club.
Yeah, and do you know what? Do you know what fucking Simon Harris? Doesn't he sound like a goat? Do you know?
Do you hear Michael D. Higgins had a stroke?
Yes. Yeah.
He stroked his knee not.
Owen O'Brien had a stroke.
Yeah.
Last year.
He deserved it. No. I don't believe that.
No, we retract that. Well, you retract that. I didn't say it, so I'm not going to take it. But I did laugh at it. So
no, we share the blame.
Come on. We share a podcast. We share the blame. The good and the bad, okay? If you got a good take, it's both of our good take.
Yeah.
If you got a bad take, it's also our take. So yeah, that's Gar Kelly, the racist that we watch on YouTube.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What do these old women want to do? They want to shut down the sun.
Yeah, exactly. You might as well take the fucking sun to court.
Yeah, exactly. Sure, it's the sun that's getting hotter. It's nothing to do with me.
Yeah. But yeah, the best bit in it was where he says that to some guy about the solar flares. Yeah. And he goes like, the guy's like, what do you mean? And he goes, solar flares making it hotter. And then you see the guy's face like, oh, that's interesting, I have to go. And he just walks away.
Yeah.
Dr. Patrick Moore, he's the co-founder of Greenpeace. He's an eminent British academic and scientist, and he has stated that CO2 emissions have no effect on weather change or climate change, and it's actually being driven by solar activity.
Could you explain what you mean by solar activity?
The sun flares, sun storms, the heat and light we get from the sun. If there's more outbursts of energy from the sun, it affects our climate.
So you think it's just that?
That's the primary driver of our climate, yeah, our primary source of light and heat.
Right, that's very interesting. I have to...
And then he leaves it in and he's like laughing. He's like, look at this guy. He won't even engage a debate. And he's like, you look stupid. He made you look like an idiot. And you've left it in there.
He looked so insane that he walked away. Have you ever been caught by one of them?
No, never actually, no.
No, nor have I.
And I don't know how I would respond. I would I'm always very eager to please people.
Yeah.
And it's only after the fact then that I'll just be like, fuck, that guy was an asshole. Why did I do that? You know?
The mistake people always make is, so his big one was like the 3%, taking in 3% of the population every year.
Yeah.
And people are immediately like, well, maybe that's not so bad.
Yeah.
Whereas you should actually just be like, I think you made that up.
Yeah.
Like, what do they call that? In the West Wing, they call it rejecting the premise of the
the freaking argument.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah.
It reminded me of in the thick of it where he goes but experts say that this, and he's like, well, I have an expert who'd refute that. And then he goes, who's your expert? I don't know, but I could have him by this afternoon.
Yeah.
And so it's you just need to know what your expert's going to say before he says it.
Yeah.
And so when he goes well, all the scientists are saying this, and I was like, well, actually all the scientists are saying this. I wish that I had the wherewithal to be interviewed by, just imagining being interviewed by this guy, my dream scenario.
I'd literally, when I was watching it, I'd be like, I would fucking trounce this guy. Imagine myself talking to him on the street.
Yeah, but the thing is, nobody would ever know because you just wouldn't put that clip in the mix, you know?
Yeah.
He's got this compilation of people, and so it's there's an American woman very earnestly answering him, where he goes, what do you think about, immigration? And then she'll go, I think, diversity is our strength, and, it's more the merrier, blah, blah, blah. And then eventually he'd be like, well, did you hear about 3% and stuff like that? And you see her face kind of frowning, and then they cut away to another person, and you never see that American lady again.
Yeah.
And so, I'm sure there's loads on the cutting room floor of people going, you're fucking talking shite, man. What do you mean, you know?
We never looked at the comments because we were watching on the
fuck,
TV.
that is so true. Let's look those up, actually. What was the other one that was good? And I love when people, they don't have the language. He's got his whole Ben Shapiro debating voice on, which isn't very good either. But these guys are like us, and fucking Mac from It's Always Sunny. It's I don't know enough about stars to refute it. So they're trying carefully with their words to be going well, what does it matter? It's great to have people around. Sure, then the Irish just go all over the place. Well, actually, he's just quick on the thing and Well, actually, Nigeria is saying that we shouldn't even take these people either.
Yeah, that was wild. It was the Prime Minister of Nigeria said we shouldn't take them.
Yeah.
As if the Prime Minister was like, hey, it's bad over here. You don't want to end up like us. Like Nigeria.
I love, and then when he meets a fellow racist and they were like, sure, look at London.
Yeah.
And then it's London, one of the
he's
biggest.
in England.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. But they mean London because most of England should be.
Like I was saying, England's 85% white.
Yeah.
And it's just London and Birmingham. So in Ireland's 90%
yeah
white. It's getting less and less each day.
And they're that's bad, and I was like, well, no, is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They kind of take it well, we're going to be a minority in our country, and it's good, I hate you, I want less of you around.
But then you're just going to end up with different types of the same stuff. On Henry Street in Dublin, there's preachers from Belfast.
Yeah.
Or Derry. And now sometimes you just see a Muslim preacher.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the same shit. Just the same annoying shit.
It's God, we really are just doing the same thing, aren't we?
Yeah.
You're over there on this other side of the globe, and I'm over here. And then we meet each other and it's like, yeah, I've been talking about this stuff as well, just in a kind of slightly different vein to you. Like,
I put my own spin on things.
Yeah. We were talking about a fucking man upstairs, some guy who's controlling it all. If you need that just to get through the day, good luck to you, brother. Do you know who I believe in? The freaking, like, he's like a monster and he's made of fucking spaghetti.
Yeah, you never hear about the flying spaghetti man.
Well, actually, Guys did an episode on the spaghetti guy people that's still around.
Yeah.
It's good. It was funny. I'd recommend it.
Okay.
Oh, fuck, I forgot to send you the latest episode of Seth MacFarlane, guys.
Oh, yeah.
And like, not Family Guy, guys. Seth MacFarlane, guys. And the picture for it is him on it with his little crooner outfit on the cover of an album. And I was like, God, I can't wait to listen to this. You know, they So I've got the comments in front of me, and I went for the one Dublin students on accommodation and immigration. And the comments are from @Gombeen1916. I find it very difficult to listen to some of these answers.
Okay.
Vote Derek Bly, Ireland first.
Okay.
The foreigners have a more realistic view on what's happening than the Irish. Imagine.
That was the American guy who was like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that in America, so I can only presume Irish people wouldn't want it.
Yeah. We were never asked. That's one. Close the borders. We owe them zero. These are drafted in not fleeing war. Came for a war. Wake up. It's all caps. As a guy from the north of Ireland, the North Irish guy talking shy about immigration needs a slap. He's a left-wing SF voter. Don't fall for it. Zainab found a great comment there on some video there. SF, what does that stand for? Sharia Fein.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, seeing what the sheeple say, they are Klaus Schwab's wet dream. Very few patriots, although they will be Irish patriots for 80 minutes on Saturday for the rugby. Embarrassing.
When you go to the one of the ones that's like Fear in Clonmel, you know the one where it's like, you can't walk around. It's Fermoy.
Yeah, Fermoy. They're like, you can't walk around. You can't walk around.
One was like, I never come into the town anymore. I never walk around. So,
yeah.
Where are you walking around at the minute?
Yeah.
The town. And like, you're that afraid, and this random lunatic comes right up to you, and you're like, yes, I'll stay and chat.
It is funny when he asked people in Dublin, like, do you think that the city is worse than it was? And all these Dublin, like, just you could this is the video every decade, and the answers would still be the same.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's changed. You can't walk down the streets at night. I wouldn't go down there. I wouldn't send anyone down there now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the drugs. There's just too much drugs. You know.
And I do like the one guy who was like, yeah. Now, I wouldn't be afraid personally, but other people be very afraid around here. You know, like, I'm not a person.
Yeah.
But I have heard people say.
We're recording a fucking... So if anyone can hear that hammering in the background.
I thought it was a horse.
No, somebody's tiling a roof over there.
I thought there was a horse outside.
Yeah. And I'm going to drop that now.
Yeah.
Dropping it in the mix.
Put that in the mix. We should have a soundboard, and one of the sounds should
I would love it.
should be a horse outside.
Yeah.
The whole song.
I was thinking of getting a soundboard and having every so often dropping like the Simon Harris, take our flag back, take it back. That would be on the soundboard. And then the other one that I remembered that I was like, oh fuck it, we just really forgot about that one was Neftali Bennett in the wake of October 7th going, oh, so suddenly you're Mr. Clean.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one, too.
Yeah. Get to the chopper. We could have that.
Trying to think of another good one. Milk was a bad choice.
Yeah. What about one that's like, this, we'd have to get AI, but it'd be like, Father Ted.
Yeah.
And he's like, these cows are near.
Yeah, those ones are they're small, far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These ones are near, those ones are far away.
That would be an ecumenical matter. And just have a conversation and Father Ted drops.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. We probably have to get AI to work out the details. But
yeah.
I think that could be really sort of experimental.
Yeah. I love it. Like, no, just stealing their idea. I was going to say the Tim Heidecker, you know, the Office Hours Live, where they're just doing the drops in the background constantly.
Yeah.
Like, I was listening to it the last day, and it takes a while to get used to it because it's just so chaotic. But like, he'll be talking, and he's like, "You remember Paul McCartney at the Jimmy Buffett thing?" And then like 4 seconds later, it'll be like, they'll have a drop of Paul McCartney going, "Oh, your quesadillas, I call them quesadillas." And then just like, so these things just dropped constantly. And then they were like, "Oh yeah, sorry about that." 3 seconds later, Larry David going, "Sorry."
My Instagram reels are trying to convince me to like the Beatles.
Yeah.
Speaking of Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Did you read about the adult baby nappy guy?
No.
I sent this article into the chat.
All right, fuck.
It looks like someone was called.
Not doing their research.
Yeah.
Ruh-roh.
It was this guy in Westmeath, and he keeps leaving like large amounts of soiled adult baby nappies. Like he's fly tipping, but only nappies.
That's horrible.
I was like, he's known to authorities as adult nappy guy.
Oh, I see it now. A little image. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is he? Is this? I didn't realize that was Irish. I just thought that was like.
No, that's Irish.
All right.
This is what Gary Kennedy is trying to prove.
His name's Gary Kelly, or Gar Kelly.
What?
Gar Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to protect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is honestly what he's trying. You know, when they go pitch, they go like, "We're losing our identity. We need to go back to when the Catholic Church controlled everything." And,
Yeah.
you know, fucking nobody had any fucking smashed avocado toast.
Yeah.
Everything was just fucking brown. It was soda bread and like dirt.
I know. Like it is so mad the way they're like, you know, these Muslims coming in raping people. It's like, we let the pedophiles run the country for 100 years.
And I loved it back then.
Yeah. Like, we were pedo nation.
Yeah.
You were Little St. James?
I'm not talking.
What?
I'm not talking about James Moran, all right?
Yeah.
Little St. James Moran. Write that one in. Get that one going in on the social medias.
No.
Whatever.
Please.
Yeah, I know. You just then reminded me of that other story. The guy, Michael Collins, easy name to remember, the independent TD.
The astronaut. The astronaut.
Yes. Let me see how the levels were there. Good. Was when he's the one who said we need to castrate the pedophiles.
Oh, yeah.
And then this week they're like, "Oh, I'm really sorry for writing a letter of clemency for that pedophile, actually."
Yeah, that was mad. I was on his side. And then he just had to go and spoil it all by writing a letter.
Not that guy.
A pedophile. Like I said, in that photo, he looked like he personally wanted to do it as well.
Not enough, though, clearly.
Maybe he was trying to lure the guy in. He was like, I was watching all these when I was there, they were put in front of my face on Instagram Reels. You know those like pedo vigilante hunters?
I mean, I feel it's kind of like to catch a predator, but they just take it upon themselves.
It would just
to
be
do
like
it.
if you and I were to do it.
Yeah.
And they're always like really rough with them. You know, like catch a predator was like, "Please take a seat." Whereas with these ones, it's like they're hitting them around the head and stuff. You were here to meet a 14-year-old girl, weren't you? And then there was one, and it was like a little person.
Yeah.
And they were being really nice to him. And I think they were just like, he looks like a kid, so maybe it's not so bad.
I'm quite confused. That is like the way that's the calculation that they make, and that's like the calculation that he's making. Where like pedophiles are like the Pete Again special of Brassai, you know, where they're like, you know, mustache twirling, you know, these creatures that have more in common with crabs is one of the things that they said in that. But like, then when they're exposed, they're like, well, what about like your mate? What are you talking about? He just likes helping out with them after school, doing the camogie. It's not even that. It's just like, it's fine.
Yeah, so they had this guy, and he was just like sitting forlornly looking at the ground.
Yeah.
And they were like, it was such a weird conversation. Because they were like, it was like midget pedophile caught. And they were just like, are you okay? Yeah. Do you want a drink or anything? And then they're like, is there anything the doctors can do about it being a little person?
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then the guy was like, no, they opened me up and they said there's nothing they can do.
They opened him up.
It was so surreal.
Just checking out his bones. No, they're done. They're done or something.
It was like they cut him open and were looking for like an on-off switch.
Yeah.
I mean, like, sorry, man, we couldn't find the thing to make you grow.
Yeah. Well, here's another great headline from The Independent today, I believe. No, yesterday. Quote, we all make mistakes. Niall Boylan says, too much being made of Independent Ireland leader writing reference for sex offender. So there's another story.
He's running for...
Niall Boylan has entered the race.
For most wanted paedophile. No, he's running for MEP.
Yeah, an MEP. Yeah.
He M on my P till I pee. Where is it? What constituency?
That's a good question, actually. Oh shit! This one just opened up an article.
I doubt he even knows. Who was the guy that Michael Collins wrote?
Yeah, I had that open somewhere, but extra.ie where they broke it. John Drennan, which sounds like it should be a typo. Have you ever heard the last name Drennan before?
Never in my life.
There you go. TD, who backs castrating sex offenders, regrets supporting child abuser. Great headline. Everybody give yourselves a pat on the back for that one. The leader of the fledgling Independent Ireland Party, who recently called for tougher sentences for sex offenders, including castration, said he regrets writing a letter seeking clemency for a former guard who abused a vulnerable child in care. I'm going to skip that. In care. So they include the letter. He was a private citizen 11 years ago, wrote a lengthy character reference for a convicted sexual offender appealing for leniency. In the letter, Mr. Collins wrote, I have lived all of my life in the Mizen Peninsula since my birth in 1968, and for the past 30 years have been involved in many community groups, from chairman of our local community council, Community Alert, Church and Farm, all voluntary organisations trying to do good in our community for others. Mr. Collins said the convicted sex offender Damien German worked in the community on a voluntary basis from a young age, helping raise funds through Macra na Ferma for many charities. He showed great leadership in what many would say was a difficult time for him, as his mother had been diagnosed with a serious health ailment. In November 2013, German, a former Garda, was convicted of 2 counts of the defilement of a 16-year-old boy in HSE care.
Okay.
He was sentenced to 2 years in jail.
2 years?
Yeah, with the final year suspended. But in his letter to the judge in the case, Mr. Collins said German was highly respected in this community, and when he got his job, it was a source of great pride here, and for many, they felt it was what he truly deserved after a life of giving to others. Anyway, so on and so forth. But yeah, it's even the type of pedophilia that they really don't like, you know? Like, they have this spot where it's like, you've seen people like David Mamet, who's like a conservative reactionary who also made great films but hasn't for a long, long time. Yeah. And he's going like, it's only natural basically that they should go in and be like perving on teenage girls because men are fucking, we are what we are, you know, we need to fucking, you know, that's it. Yeah. But like, they have a real thing for like little boys, you know, the idea of little boys being defiled, and it's like that this was presented to him and he just goes, yeah, well, whatever. Mistakes were made. So Niall Boylan's reaction to this, I want to see what he said. Mr. Collins accepted he was said his party leader, because he's joined under the Independent Ireland
who's
Party.
the party leader?
That's Michael Collins.
Oh.
Yeah. Independent is actually like the same as indie music, isn't it? Where it's just lost all meaning entirely.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're having a party to be independent. It's like, that makes no sense, but whatever, I guess. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Because it used to be that there were like loose confederations of independents. Like, in the when did Fine Gael get in? 2013? 2014?
I'm going to say, when did Fine Gael get in?
Yeah.
I think 2012.
Was it?
I think so.
Wherever that was.
I'm going to say,
Yeah, Enda Kenny met Obama. That could have been any time over the 8 years.
I think it was 2012.
It wasn't 2012.
All right. Wait until you are proved fucking wrong. Everyone's laughing at you. Oh, shit. Okay. Wait.
Read it slowly.
All right. Okay. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Wait, what the...
When was it? The listeners need to know.
Oh, no. Oh, I was so wrong. It was 2011. So fuck you.
No.
It was 2011. 31st Dáil convened for the first time on 9th of March 2011. The Dáil nominated Kenny for appointment as Taoiseach.
Wait, I thought... So when was the... I thought there was an election after 2008. That Fianna Fáil won.
Yes.
When was that? 2009.
All right, let's see the previous. Fucking hell.
Well, you're looking at Wikipedia.
I am. I was looking up Enda Kenny.
Don't you know that they can just make that up as they go along?
Yeah. No, they get in trouble. They have to tell the truth.
Yeah. Well, we don't, but they do.
Yeah. All right, 2008. I think he stepped. No, he did. There wasn't a new election. Bertie just stepped down, and then Brian Cowan took over.
Oh, I didn't.
I think.
So what was I saying? Oh yeah, in that government, the Shane Ross.
Yes.
And Kevin Boxer Moran,
who
he calls illiterate. This book, Shane Ross's book, In Bed with the Blue Shirts, he's like, I have the utmost respect for Kevin Moran, who's completely illiterate, but still managed PTT. And I've never heard anyone else say that. But they had some time for themselves. You know? All those independents. Do you remember it was like Fine Gael?
Yeah.
Whenever they were supported by the...
It wasn't rural independence, was it? No. What's the different
Shane
one?
Ross was...
That's recent.
Dundrum.
All right, let's look up Shane
The
Ross.
rural independent should be called the rural donkey fucker. They're the most inbred...
I think that's implied.
looking group of people. It's like Matty McGrath.
Yeah.
Who looks...
He's a beast.
Like, he looks like he drinks toilet water.
And I don't mean he's like a beast, like a boss. I mean,
No,
he is a
he's like
fucking beast.
He's like a beast of
like
burden.
from myth, you know?
Yeah. But not like a sphinx. He's like... It's like when they go to some island and there's like a half-formed goblin that lives in shit.
Yeah. I know we use the phrase like a literal punch cartoon, but never more apt. You know, if you ever look up like the agrarian violence depiction where it's like, you know, some knuckle dragging kind of Jekyll and Hyde creature.
Yeah.
That's Matty McGrath.
Yeah. Who else is a rural independent?
The Healy Rays, obviously.
Yeah, they're good.
Nothing to say about them.
No, they look like something out of children's, like Brothers Grimm. Oh.
Yeah. This one only lies, and this one only tells the truth.
Yeah. This one only lies, and this one agrees.
Yeah. Yes.
Um,
I'm looking up who rural
I know I've
independents
talked about
are.
it before, but I like Michael Healy-Rae. His social media is so curious. Like the one where he's on the electric scooter.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. Yeah.
Or the one where he's like, he goes into a house and they have an Alexa.
Yeah.
And then he's like, Alexa. He keeps calling it Alexa. I think that's supposed to be a joke. He's like, who should you vote for whatever their constituency is?
Kerry.
What?
Kerry.
Well,
Something.
yeah, okay. And it's like, and then Alexa goes like, it sure is just hay in the pot.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Healy-Rae is your only man.
I don't
Funny.
think Alexa actually said that.
What?
I think they must have programmed Alexa to say that shit.
No, because I did it at home and it said the same thing.
Did they somehow manage
Don't
to...
stop saying it.
I'm trying to sleep and it just every so often start saying that.
Yeah.
It sure is a cup of tea.
Yeah. When I was young, we got Furbies.
Yes, yeah.
And my dad used to love.
No, really?
Yeah, just I know. Most people are like, oh, my older brother, my dad. He loved in the middle of the night, he'd stick his hand and like turn the Furby upside down to wake it up.
Yeah.
And then like just put it back down. We'd be like, what the hell?
That's cute.
What?
That's cute. He made you think it was alive, is that what you're saying?
Well, no, he just meant to give us a fright.
Oh, right. Well, our one, we didn't know how to turn it off, so we like put it in the hot press and covered it with blankets, and it kept kind of screaming until it ran out of battery.
Yeah, it was funny how you had to like smother them like an animal. Like,
I love when your parents are getting mad at you and you don't know what to do, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to
turn it
do.
off.
It's like, Gareth, I really need to get to sleep. I gotta work. I think it's my fault.
it's just going like, wee wah.
Well, actually, it wasn't like a Furby for me. It was although that was my sister's thing. It was a Gigapet. I had which was the knockoff Tamagotchi, and it kept crying for food, and like it was like a special T-Rex from Lost World, okay? And it was just shitting all over the place in the little thing, and it kept going like, rah, rah, and you're just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I can't take the batteries out because it'll die.
Yeah, this is it. And one time, this guy pushed me over, and this is so funny because I think I mentioned I was in Samba soccer and some guy reset my digital watch and I got really upset. This guy pushed me over while I had my Gigapet in my back pocket. It's reset. And I was like, you idiot! I managed to get it to 2 days. Oh, goodness.
Did you ever have one of those dogs that did backflips? The Robo Dog?
Yeah, I think my sister had one of them, yeah. Or there was some of them around anyway, yeah.
The messed up thing is there's definitely got some guy who put a flashlight on one of them.
A digital dog and I'm spreading digital peanut butter all over my fucking flashlight. I don't know.
All over my digit. Do people really do that?
Which?
The
dog and the peanut butter.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past a lot of people, you know? Me included. Like, no, I mean, like, I don't know how.
We only had a cat.
Yeah.
So we had to make do. Putting milk all over you.
Yeah. It's funny that you're like, okay, well, what's another topic we could talk about? Just looking down through all the most tragic things that have happened in the past week, and it's like just trying to effortlessly transition into.
There must be a slightly less tragic one in there.
There's a goofy one that I found very. Oh yeah, well I'd say this one. All the Cybertrucks have been recalled. Did you see that?
Really?
Yeah, and it was a very funny. Like, it is literally, you know that sketch from the fucking Tim Robinson show or whatever it is? It's in the Tom, where's it, Tom Rob? What is the
I
fucking
think you
guy?
should leave.
Yeah, and you know the one where it's like, they should build
I
a car.
don't actually mean that, by the way. That's just the show.
Well, oh, okay, thank you for... That's just the way we...
It is the way
we're always
do.
like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But like... You know the one where it's like, I think you should make tiny windows so that the steering wheel doesn't fly off and fly out the window. You know that one?
No.
It's one of these stupid. It's the sketch where the man, the bald man, he goes, "You have no good car ideas," and like Stinky, he's just, they managed to find this fucking freak, and they basically just put the camera on him and get him to say a bunch of mad shit, and it's the funniest sketch out of the whole lot of them.
A gray steering wheel that doesn't whiff out of the window while I'm driving. That is a good idea.
Yeah, I wrote it down.
Oh, nice.
I've seen the show.
I've never even watched the show. I've only watched like one or two sketches, and I kind of find it a little grating, if I'm honest.
Can you do one? Can
I do a
this
sketch?
one?
We're all trying to figure out what happened here. That's how he does. It's like, let's start off with a premise, and then by the end, it's like, oh, you're not even supposed to, and he makes like, it's like, am I a baby? Is that what I'm supposed to be responding to? Just him going,
Yeah, I always get really embarrassed because it's like, I'm watching that, and I'm visualizing like Tim Robinson, and he's in the writer's room.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then by the end, I'm going like, and everyone's like, yes.
Yeah.
Again, it's so funny. And then he used to like go to the rehearsals, and he used to like do the cameras on him, and he's like, and now I do my trademark goofy noises.
Yeah.
Like, just that idea of just acting, really. It just makes me very embarrassed.
It kind of reminds me of Will Ferrell. That was what I used to get always annoyed with, where it's like, okay, I mean, I don't know, because I'd like look for money for projects and stuff before. So you go to people and you got like, all right, here's my script and here's my budget and here's my schedule and here's what I do. And then you probably like, presumably with live action stuff, you show up, you set up the camera, you got to rig the lights, everybody's there, maybe they've gotten up early. And then it's like, okay, well, we've done the script. So like, Will, do you just want to throw it away with one of your trademark, like Odin's Raven? And I'm just like, I can't fucking believe that, It just drives me, I don't like it. But anyway, Tesla is recalling all 3,878 Cybertrucks that it has shipped to date due to a problem where the accelerator pedal can get stuck, putting drivers at risk of a crash. So apparently there's like 2 pieces of metal to make the accelerator or something, like that thing, and then the accelerator is just like sliding up slowly, and then eventually gets caught in the ridge of something, like when it goes down. So it's possible for it to go down and then get caught, and it just stays down.
Really?
So there's like a bunch of like accelerators. I gotta completely balls that up, but that is essentially it, where it's like the car will just get stuck, the accelerator down. And I was like, shouldn't that be the first thing that you make sure it doesn't happen, And he's like, hey, look, I can fucking whack a baseball bat off of the windscreen. It's like, just figure out the accelerator, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, I know. I find it funny the way, like, with a car, it needs to be able to go outside.
Yeah.
It needs to be able to go and stop. And, like, it rusts in the rain. And then it also just spontaneously just puts a pedal to the...
It's just so funny. Like, it's just, they're so poorly held together. They look like shit, but then they just and then the funny thing is that the guys are so loyal. They're like, oh yeah, I was in the car with my family, and it just like the accelerator struck to the floor and it drove into a wall. It's like, luckily everybody's okay. Hopefully hopefully I'll be able to get my insurance to cover it so I can get a new Cybertruck. You're like, the fucking, is there anything that he can do to you that would make you go like, fuck, maybe he's not a genius. Maybe.
He is a genius. He has an IQ. Someone told me that Donald Trump can play 5 games of chess against 5 different people.
Yeah.
And win them all. Do you know that?
Did I know that he could do that?
Yeah.
Well, I know he's capable, but I certainly hadn't seen it. And then here's another little... This isn't very good, is it? To just be like, okay, done with that, now to the next thing. Bambie Thug on The Late Late Show.
And that's your lot on the free feed. Go to patreon.com/Celtic Ligers to hear the Ligers talk about Bambie Thug, Stardust, Angie's new candidates upsetting their racist supporters, Tadhg Hickey on Novara Media. Loads more. Thanks.